The guy decides to buy a pair of gloves for his new girlfriend as a Halloween gift. They've only been dating for 3 weeks, so he thinks it's the perfect gift. Romantic, but not too personal. He invites his girlfriend's younger sister to keep him company to help choose a pair of gloves that her sister would like. They head to the mall and the sister picks out a lovely pair of white gloves. The guy makes a purchase. The sister also chooses a pair of panties and buys them. However, in the process of wrapping gifts, the saleswoman accidentally replaced the parcels and no one noticed it. As a result, the sister has gloves and the guy unknowingly takes home a gift box with panties. Without double checking, the guy quickly delivers a gift to his girlfriend, accompanied by a caring note. The note says, "My dear, I chose this because I noticed that you usually don't wear anything when we go out in the evening. If your sister wasn't there, I would have chosen the long ones with buttons, but she prefers the short ones, which are easier to take off. The color is quite delicate. The woman I bought them from had to wear them for the last 3 weeks, and they were hardly dirty. I even asked her to try on your pair, and she looked pretty stylish. I wish I was there to help you put them on for the first time. No doubt other hands will touch them before I have a chance to see you again. Don't forget to blow on them before putting them away after taking them off, as they will naturally be slightly damp from wearing. Just imagine how many times I'll kiss them on Halloween night. I hope you will wear them on the eve of this day. P.S. The latest trend is to wear them folded so that a little fur is visible." A teacher walked into her classroom, observing her students as they seemed a bit drowsy and not quite ready to begin the day's lessons. Realizing she needed an engaging way to spark their energy and enthusiasm, she decided to present them with a riddle to capture their attention and kickstart their mental gears. She began, "Good morning to all of you. To get us started today, I thought we could have some fun. Here's a puzzling riddle for you. Imagine there are 3 pigeons perched peacefully on a tree branch, enjoying the day. If I decide to shoot one down, can any of you tell me how many pigeons will remain on that branch?" The class exchanged puzzled glances, and a wave of confusion spread through the room. Some began to mentally calculate, while others appeared completely baffled. After what felt like an eternity, a student who was always ready for a challenge cautiously raised his hand. "Yes," the teacher said, motioning for him to answer. With a little hesitation, the student responded, "I believe the answer would be none." Raising an eyebrow, the teacher questioned, "Interesting. Can you explain why you think that way?" The student took a moment and then said, "If you shot one pigeon, the loud sound of the gunshot would probably startle the other two. Being birds, their natural instinct would be to fly away to safety. So, in reality, no pigeons would remain on the tree." The teacher, amused and impressed, replied, "That's a creative answer and shows great insight. While technically 2 birds would be left, I appreciate your unique perspective." Beaming with pride, the student decided to keep the fun going. "Since we're on the topic of creative answers, I have a riddle for you as well. Imagine there are 2 women standing in front of an ice cream truck on a hot day. One woman is licking her ice cream and the other one is biting it. Can you tell me which of these women is married?" The teacher, now on the spot and slightly flustered, ventured to guess, the one who licked her ice cream? With a playful smile, the student replied, "Not quite. It's actually the woman who has a wedding ring on her finger, but I like your way of thinking." An Englishman, an Irishman, and an American find themselves stranded on a deserted island, but their luck changes when they stumble upon a genie. The genie explains to them that while he typically grants 3 wishes, they each get 1 wish because they all found him equally. So, they take turns making their wishes. The Englishman is up first and says, "I've been stranded on this island for 2 long years, so I wish to return home to my family in England." With a poof, the genie grants his wish, and the Englishman disappears. Now it's the American's turn, and he says, "I've been marooned on this island for 2 years as well, so I wish to go back home to my family in America." With another poof, the genie fulfills his wish, and the American vanishes. Finally, it's the Irishman's chance to make his wish. He says, "I've been terribly lonely on this island, so I wish my two buddies were back here with me." A man decides to go to a movie theater to watch a film he's been eagerly anticipating. As the movie starts, he notices that a gentleman with a shaved head has chosen the seat right in front of him. The theater lights reflect off the bald man's head, creating a glaring distraction, and the man behind is unable to enjoy the movie. He thinks to himself, "I should give that guy a little smack on the back of his head." But he hesitates, realizing, that guy is huge. He'd probably tear me apart. Just when the man is contemplating what to do, another moviegoer named Joe takes a seat next to him. The frustrated man leans over to Joe and makes an unusual proposition. "If you smack that bald guy in the head for me, I'll give you $1.50. Joe, unable to resist the temptation of earning some easy cash, reaches over and smacks the bald man as requested. Then he exclaims, "Oh, Mike, it's you." The bald man turns around, somewhat baffled, and states, "I'm not Mike, buddy." Joe, somewhat embarrassed, responds, "My apologies, it was an honest mistake." He then accepts the $1.50 offered by the man. Sensing an opportunity, the man comes up with a new offer for Joe. "Smack him again and I'll give you $100. Joe, encouraged by the prospect of making more money, delivers another smack to the bald man, all the while insisting, "You are Mike! Stop playing games with me!" The bald guy, growing increasingly frustrated, declares, "I'm not Mike," and decides to move to a different seat to avoid further smacks. Now, the man sitting next to Joe begins searching for the bald guy in the theater instead of watching the movie. He eventually spots him, points him out to Joe, and proposes, "Look, he's sitting over there now. Smack him again, and I'll give you all the money in my pocket." Without wasting a moment, Joe hurries over to the bald man, gives him another smack, and exclaims, "Mike, you were sitting here all along? I've been smacking the guy behind us, thinking it was you for the past half hour." Deep within the heart of France, a land renowned for its romantic tales, bravery, and passionate endeavors, resided a remarkable man named Pierre. Pierre was celebrated among his squadron as the most fearless fighter pilot of them all. He was known for his audacious exploits in the skies, and this reputation for daring was matched only by his penchant for savoring life's exhilarating moments on the ground. Amidst the many adventures that colored Pierre's life, his heart was captivated by a local beauty named Marie. She too had an appetite for life's fervor that resonated with Pierre's own. Their affection for one another was a well-known and cherished story. Much like Pierre's legendary feats in the air, on one particularly splendid afternoon, Pierre decided that it was the perfect day for a tranquil outing, and he extended an invitation to Marie. They set out for a picturesque picnic by the riverside, where the serenity of the riverbank provided an idyllic backdrop for their romantic rendezvous. As they nestled on their picnic blanket, the atmosphere crackled with the unspoken excitement of young love. Feeling the enchantment of the moment, Marie gazed into Pierre's eyes and, with a gentle plea, whispered, "Pierre, kiss me." Pierre, never one to miss a chance for dramatic flair, grasped a bottle of exquisite Merlot wine and playfully splashed a bit onto Marie's lips. Perplexed by this unexpected gesture, Marie inquired about his intentions. With pride and theatrical flair, Pierre declared, "I am Pierre the fighter pilot. When I have red meat, I have red wine." Understanding his spirited nature, Marie burst into laughter, and they shared a tender kiss. As their embrace deepened and the world around them faded into insignificance, Marie, breathless and lost in the moment, found herself yearning for more. She softly whispered, "Pierre, kiss me lower." With a glint of mischief in his eye, Pierre responded with enthusiasm. Swiftly he unbuttoned her blouse and reached for a bottle of exquisite Chardonnay, drizzling it sensually over her chest. Marie, initially taken aback, soon joined in Pierre's spirited playfulness and asked about his audacious intentions. Unfazed, Pierre maintained his character, declaring, "I am Pierre the fighter pilot. When I have white meat, I have white wine." Their escapade continued to evolve, matching the wildness of their natural surroundings. Passion surged, their hearts racing in harmony, and Marie, caught in the whirlwind of romance, urged Pierre with breathless anticipation, "Kiss me lower!" True to his reputation for fearlessness and flair, Pierre did not disappoint. He swiftly removed her remaining garments, grabbed a bottle of the finest cognac, and generously poured it onto her lap. With the precision of a skilled pilot, he ignited a match and set the cognac ablaze in an instant. Marie, taken by surprise, leaped into the river to extinguish the flames. Emerging from the water, she shouted in a mixture of frustration and bewilderment, "Pierre, what on earth do you think you're doing?" Standing firmly at the water's edge, Pierre replied with unwavering confidence, "I am Pierre, the fighter pilot. If I go down in flames." And there you have it, a story of hope, unconventional charm, and a clever punchline that reminds us that love can come from unexpected places. Once upon a time, there was a woman who had been through the trials and tribulations of love and had been thrice divorced. Her past was marred by abusive relationships, runaways, and disappointing bedroom encounters. Still, she remained hopeful, refusing to let her faith in love wane. With determination in her heart, she decided to give love another chance. To signal her availability and readiness for a new relationship, she placed a heartfelt ad in the local newspaper, detailing her past struggles and expressing her desire for a fresh start. She knew that there had to be someone out there who could truly make her happy. A few days later, as she went about her daily routine, she heard the doorbell ring. Surprised, she opened the door, and to her amazement, she was greeted by a man with no arms and no legs. Despite her initial shock, the man smiled warmly and said, "Hi, I saw your ad in the newspaper. I was hoping I could be your new boyfriend." The woman couldn't help but be puzzled and asked, "What makes you think you're going to be any better than my last 3 husbands?" With a calm and reassuring tone, he responded, "Well, you see, I have no arms, which means I won't be able to hurt or abuse you physically, and I have no legs, so running away or abandoning you is simply out of the question." The woman considered his words, but one crucial question still lingered in her mind. "But how are you in bed?" Without missing a beat, the man with no arms and no legs confidently replied, "Well, I rang the doorbell, didn't I?